Welcome to the Single Society. My name is Jo, and this is the podcast series exploring single life from a positive, holistic perspective. There is so much to enjoy about being single, whether that's something you're enjoying for a season, whether it's a decision you've made for life, or whether you are single and looking for a partner at the moment. Now, for those of you who are, I also run singles nights in Manchester, in Preston, in York, lots more places coming soon. So do have a look at the description box for where singles nights are taking place if that's something that is of interest to you. It is, of course, a very personal decision. But this episode that you have found yourself listening to today is part of a 7-part series. We're on the 6th one at the moment, which is looking at common mistakes that people make at singles nights. So we've had 5 episodes already. Common mistakes I see people make very regularly. Doesn't matter if it's Manchester, Preston, York, very similar mistakes get made. We're all human at the end of the day. So if you haven't heard those yet, you may want to go back and have a listen. Make sure you're subscribed and followed to this podcast series so that you can hear what's coming up as well. Now, I've already covered quite a few of the different mistakes that people make. So, not asking questions of other people, arriving late to the event, they're all things that make it more challenging for you to get what you really want out of the night. But the one that I am going to focus on today is a little bit of a personal bugbear of mine, I will be honest. But it is more than that. It is also something that is a common mistake and that massively, massively limits the chances of you having a successful singles night. And that is being on your phone. Oh my goodness, I would never do it, please don't get me wrong, but the number of times I've wanted to go and just take someone's phone out of their hand, it looks so rude. Now, as with everything, a degree of nuance is needed, and I am going to caveat this. Obviously, if you need to be on your phone for a few minutes, that's fine. Obviously, we're all human. If you need to let someone know that you've arrived safely or when you're heading off, if you're paying for something on your phone, of course, there's loads of different reasons we might need to do it quickly. That's okay. Of course, that's okay. And if you need it to feel safe, absolutely. What I'm talking about is those people at singles nights who will sit down and will get out their phone and just be looking at their phone and not engaging with those around them. Now, this is incredibly rare. The singles nights I run are really lovely spaces. I'm so grateful to the attendees that come because they make them such fun nights and such positive spaces to be in. So this is a rare exception, but it's not such an exception that I haven't seen it come up more than once. And it stands out like a sore thumb because obviously most people are busily engaging in conversation, getting to know one another, figuring out if there's potential matches there, sensing your chemistry with people. If you're on your phone, you're not doing any of that. Now, I do want to say, I do acknowledge that I think probably the main reason for being on your phone for any length of time is that you're feeling really nervous. And I do really empathise with that. It's very natural, very normal to feel nervous at a singles night. Most people are going to feel exactly the same as you. But, and apologies if this sounds harsh, being on your phone just isn't the solution. Please believe me on that. There are lots of things that you can do to manage your well-being around an event. I'm going to release more episodes specifically on that soon, looking at how you can take care of yourself around singles nights. But I mean, just quickly, keep drinking water, take deep breaths, go and speak to one of the event hosts, chat to them, ask for anything that you need. If you need a quiet space, that's totally fine. By all means, go to the bathroom for a little while, stand outside and have some fresh air. Whatever it is that works for you, but please do not be on your phone. I cannot tell you how rude it looks. And again, this might sound extreme, but honestly, you might as well not be at the event. It really does make it pointless. And I mean that almost in two different ways. On the one hand, you as an individual might as well not be at the event because you're not experiencing the event. You're experiencing whatever is happening on your screen, and that's not especially valuable. You could do that at home. But there's also the sense in which other people looking at you aren't going to take you seriously as a potential partner. They're going to take seriously the people that they're having an engaged conversation with. So honestly, just do not do this. It's not worth it at all. And again, just to go back to this thing of People predominantly do it because they're nervous, which truly, even if it doesn't sound like it, I promise I do empathise with. But I do absolutely loads to make sure that there's things for you to do at the event. So you never have to arrive and just figure out what to say, what to do, who to talk to. All of those decisions are kind of managed for you to enable it to be as relaxing as possible. And so you can just chill out. So when you get to the event, for example, there are conversation cards, there's 3 questions written on them. Pick one. That's kind of your only job, if you like, when you first arrive. Someone else may well have already done it for you and thrown out one of those questions to the table of people we'll seat you on initially, and then you just have a chat, answer whatever the question was, or you throw one out into the mix. So you don't even have to, think of your own questions to start with. I have just done an episode on why asking questions is so valuable, so do listen to that one if it's something that you struggle to think of things to ask. But initially, that will all be done for you. And then after you've had those question cards, there's quizzes, there's games to play. When we do the quizzes, for example, I do a picture round initially, but then there's also boxes of quizzes. So in each little box, there's various cards that have a question on and that have the answer on there as well. So I'll make one person on each table, the quiz master, and they'll read out the question. They'll see the answer and they'll give that card to whoever gets the answer right. So being quizmaster sounds intense, but it's actually easier. Now, my general knowledge is shocking. Honestly, it is hopeless. So personally, I would always volunteer to be quizmaster, because all you've got to do is read out the question and then just give it to whoever gets the right answer. So if you are nervous, if you would be tempted to just be on your phone, and if you don't want to take part in the quiz, actually the best thing for you to do is to volunteer to be quizmaster, because all you've got to do is sit there and read out the questions. So there's no reason, there's no need at any stage to kind of hide away, and it does look incredibly rude. As you can probably tell from my rant today, it is a little bit of a bugbear of mine. As soon as possible, settle into the event, get chatting with people, engage with them fully. If you are interested in coming to a singles night, you can find the link in the description. And if you're not already following or subscribed to this podcast, please do that, because there's loads more tips coming up and lots of other episodes that aren't about singles nights as well. So I will catch you in the next episode.